Welcome back, as promised before the break, to complete the Trini invasion right here on our stage. We are now joined by the power couple of Soca, Bunji Garlin and Fay-Ann Lyons, who are here specifically for the return of the Byron Lee founded Jamaica Carnival. Fay-Ann, so good to have you.
Same here, thank you.
Good to have you. This is your first time on our set, right?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Bunji.
Yeah, man.
I should say to you guys, welcome home to Jamaica. Yeah, because Jamaica is home for you now.
Yeah.
I hope nobody will get jealous now over there in Trinidad. Okay, so how was Carnival for you in Trinidad?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
The same for you?
It was good. You know,
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're hearing a contradicting statement from an icon.
Who's the
Gypsy.
Oh.
That's
From
my
Gypsy.
uncle.
Happened to be her.
Your uncle?
That's my mother's brother.
Okay, so he's saying that Carnival is dying, and he's blaming mostly the export of the concept, migration of creators, and crime.
Okay. It's not untrue if you categorize what he's saying
Yes.
and apply it properly. One, social media now has exposed our crime situation to the world.
Yes.
Wherefore before, when we've always dealt with crime, but because of social media, everything
is out there.
It's
Right.
out there, and it's not just out there from a controlled standpoint. It's out there from a very graphic, detailed, personal standpoint. The scenario that is being presented could have happened outside of Carnival.
Okay.
At any given time, because it's either an accident or a natural crime or whatever the case is. So I understand from the standpoint of crime where he's coming from. With respect to being, having the exporting of Carnival and its creativity going outside, I would partly blame our government. Here's why. If you have a product and you're seeing the product as a business entity that is growing. You're seeing people coming in by the plane loads every single year for the last how much years. You're seeing your people dedicating their lives to making the music, the costumes, the art, the creativity, putting on the events. You're supposed to pay attention. You don't pay attention when you realize there's so many other carnivals, so many other similar products popping up elsewhere that are being fashioned after your product. Again, social media is now bringing it to the forefront. So now you have evidence that the product that you did not pay attention to was actually gaining momentum externally.
But what could be done, Bunji? What do you think could have been done to control, to own, to show more ownership and control of the product?
I think that possibly is the first problem. The emphasis may go into so much of positioning or stating that this is ours, that it may miss the point that yes, it could be yours, but it could be shareable. And culture is a very important thing, and it is very touchy about how you deal with it.
Yes.
But you don't fight when people want to partake in it. What
Yes.
you do is establish your standard, your point,
Yes.
that, hey, all right, we like what you're doing, but at least respect this, what we are doing. This came from here.
Yes.
This originated from here.
The original.
Right? And then
Ownership.
Right, and you start building that cohesive relationship with those who would like to be a part of what you have. So when their things grow, yours grow as well. But the moment what you have start fighting what they have, and it is the same thing, then you start fighting your own self.
The experience when exported, sometimes it can't be as genuine and authentic as it ought to be, or as it is in Trinidad. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what the government should be selling, that the real experience is in Trinidad and Tobago and nowhere else.
Exactly.
Okay, we have to understand businesses. Carnival is a business.
Yes.
For some people, it's a business. Some people, it's a hustle. But for most people that participate in Carnival from a serious investment standpoint, it's a business. And when you have a business and you're seeing your business taking off, one of the things that you do is you put things in place to facilitate growth, to accommodate the growth of the Carnival. We did not do that as a country, as a people, as a genre of music. We did not do that. We basically prepared for the music to be as big as Trinidad. We were prepared for the Carnival to be as big as Trinidad. You have artists that are outgrowing the size of stages that Trinidad, because they are now collaborating with other people. That is the main concept behind people franchising stuff.
This is the second time something like this is happening. The first time that we lose grip on something that originated and that we really had the moment to establish a point was the steel pan.
The steel pan.
We have a saying back home that Jah give us pan and we give Japan, because Japan was the first place that really, put it right?
And Japan was the first to take it.
Take it and, establish it on a world stage level.
Yes,
right?
the youngest musical instrument in the world. The steel pan.
The steel pan.
Created in Trinidad.
And now there's the electric steel pan.
And you wonder now, where is it? I'm wondering how many people watching us now know where it was born.
Right? So I have steel pan factories all around the world now.
But not in Trinidad.
Right?
Oh, wow.
I mean, there are people who still build steel pans the original way in Trinidad and today.
But there's no industry. There's no steel pan industry.
This is a very big conversation, which we'll have to continue. Okay, so you're here to help to revitalize the Jamaica Carnival brand, which was the one that Byron Lee founded.
Yes.
But how do you feel about being called, though, to be part of this resurrection of Jamaica Carnival?
For me, it has a kind of historic value, because my dad performed for Byron Lee.
Yes.
And now for me to be able to be asked by his family to come and do the same thing, it's just a weird feeling to know that this was a carnival that my father participated in, brought music to the table for, provided entertainment for people for. And I've met a couple of people who like, I remember I went to some of the parties that your dad went to, and it was so great. And then to perform for some of these same people, for me, it's amazing from that standpoint, to show the growth that, Dad did it and now we're doing it, and it's basically the same thing with Juliana and her team.
Okay.
Their dad did it and now they're trying to keep that legacy, and I understand fully well.
Well, many credit Byron Lee as the father of Jamaica Carnival. He wanted a mass production, especially a road parade, which we didn't have, and there were little private stuff going on before. But he brought it to the nation. He wanted full participation, as it should be. Because Carnival is very inclusive and can't just be locked into anywhere.
No, it's for the people.
It's for the people, right?
And for those of us in Trinidad and Tobago, when we started coming to Jamaica for Carnival, well, basically that's how we knew it, as he was the person who basically was responsible for Carnival at the level that it is in Jamaica at that time, right? And there are a lot of things that he would have done then that is not present now. For example, he was probably like the only promoter from Jamaica would actually have a series of events.
Yes.
Like the tents and the sit-down audiences and things like that. Like back home in Trinidad.
Which is what we have
We'll
back
be
home.
running all week leading up into Carnival itself.
But then he was getting a lot of pushback.
Right.
From Trinidad in some respects, and from Jamaicans too, for it. And he was in the middle of a struggle here, but when all was said and done, he was doing the right thing, because it was promoting the concept, and nobody can take Carnival away from Trinidad. And Jamaicans are as much on to Carnival as it is in Trinidad. But Jamaicans really don't know that it's from the people of Trinidad, the people like them, because of how it was introduced. There's a lot of little things that we need to be honest about this.
No, but sometimes
once and for all, this.
Sometimes when you go back through history, you'd realize that a lot of people have great intentions, but sometimes the methods and the omissions are the things that really tend to create the contentions and create the issues.
So let's talk about you. The two of you, first time on our set as a couple now. So we must ask you questions about the challenges, the benefits of working, living together, working together, and doing almost everything together. Benefits, challenges, both?
Well, it looks like we do almost everything together, because I guess people tend to take notice a lot of the times when because it's not normal to have a relationship in an industry where relationships tend to fail almost like every day. So we tend to be kind of like freaks in terms of how are they doing that?
What they call anomalies.
Yes, the anomaly. Like, oh my gosh, how are they making this happen? This has to be some sort of witchcraft or magic.
And I'm sure you've heard this question over and over, right? The same question I'm asking, how you do it. because it's not the norm.
Yeah.
It's not. That's why I wonder. Yeah. Is it now for as long as you've both been doing it? No, can you define whether it's more beneficial or is it more?
It's more
challenging.
No, I wouldn't say it's more challenging. I would say it's more beneficial, right? Because we operate within a place from a peace of mind. So it's not like we're in a relationship and I have to wonder now if she's out in the night doing this and doing that.
Okay.
She don't have to worry about if I'm doing this and doing that. I mean, we have a family together, right? And I think every day we have an opportunity to break a lot of misconceptions or a lot of taboo, especially on my side. Remember, as a black man,
oh yes,
right?
You're expected to be
real fat, yeah.
a certain
way as a black artist,
yes,
right? Coming from the Caribbean, and especially coming from a culture where the culture is considered where, you know, woman is the drive, or woman is like the hub or the engine of what we do. You know, so it's like anyway you told it's just woman here, woman here, woman here. And the lead up to carnival is woman.
And sexuality.
Sexuality in a big way.
Displayed.
How do you keep focus through that? And the moment you start, you know, just showing that, well, yeah, you're focused, somehow it translates itself into, well, that look like just acting a role, you know, probably somewhere off track, but really and truly, that's not the case. You know, we would not have wed if we didn't know what we have, right? We knew what we have, so we wedded in holy matrimony. We have a daughter now. And I would say the only challenge is she just as bad as me, I just as bad as she. When it comes to the music on stage. So if I think I could do a production or do a song or do a performance and think I have a one-up on the industry, she just find a way to just
That's good competition.
Right? So you're feeding off each other's
so
energy.
Just feed off her, just keep going like this.
See, but you know, you know, you're a case study now, right? You're naturally a case study.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to know how you do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not just you're married.
Yeah.
You have a child.
Yeah.
And you're working and living together. And that is...
We're not forcing it. It's just, we're just going.
Every artist in the world is looking at this. I'm wondering if they could do it too. Okay, so new music, the album. So when we were on Jamrock Cruise.
Yes.
Jamrock it was, right? Jamrock. You promised some album. Yours was coming in. Did you make
it? In May.
So you delayed a little bit because I think you had promised.
Actually,
February.
I was supposed to drop.
It was supposed to drop in December, but mine was ready before his.
Oh, okay.
So mine was released.
Yours is out, so you're outstanding. Okay, so how is it doing?
Very well. It debuted at number 3 on the reggae Billboard charts.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of attention in the right places and from the right people.
Oh, wicked.
Interject. That is the first for any female soca artist, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so she's
it's
the
never been done.
second soca artist to debut that high.
It's encouragement for young artists because making an album is a big challenge.
It is.
Most of them don't even know what an album is in these days, in this EP days.
Exactly.
So your Sir is coming in May?
In May, yeah.
And what's on it?
Like 17 tracks or so. Big Bad Soca, of course, a collaboration with me and Damian Marley. There's another collaboration coming there with a huge sample with myself and R City. And also another collaboration with me and Shaggy.
Okay.
That was produced by, of course, myself and another producer called Nikolai Green in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have a few of those kind of cross-pollinated projects on the album.
Any Afrobeat?
Not per se, no.
EDM?
Not really, no.
You're an EDM king. You cannot do something.
No, the EDM things is a different set of works that we're going to start on soon, actually.
The album is one thing.
Yeah.
What we do is we do album, but at the same time, we're always recording. Like we were just in LA filming our parts for the movie with Romney Malco.
Okay.
And he played Romney Malco's prison buddy called Upgrade, and I was one of the prison wardens that helped with the dog rehabilitation program. And while we were there, we got the opportunity to do some recording, because I'm also recording with Fernando Gariby. I think he did a workshop in Jamaica with a bunch of different young, talented, upcoming artists. And he did works for like Lady Gaga and all these people. So he's really, really talented.
So when is that movie due to be out?
We don't know. They're still filming. We just flew to LA to do our part.
Dear Peace. Okay. Yeah. But your album now. So what's on your album?
My album has Afro Soca, which I did with Stoneboy B, who just won, I think, Best Artist.
Yeah, but
in Ghana.
Afro Soca.
Yes.
That's a genre now?
That is a genre. I am labeling it because a lot of the times
yes.
we just like Afrobeat. But when you say Afrobeat,
I like that.
It does not give any sort of acknowledgement to soca, which I represent.
You're westernizing.
Exactly. So I'm saying Afro soca. When I do it, I am calling it Afro soca because I want people to know that the genre that I represent, my foundation genre is soca, and then his is Afro. So Africa, any part of Africa, whatever type, they have so many different types of music, zone 2 and this and that. So it's just. It's easier to just say Afro, and it represents the entire entity of Africa and all the countries within.
Of course.
And for us, once you say soca, people know, okay, fine, it's Caribbean music. So when we fuse the two, we call it Afro soca. So I actually filmed part of the video for that yesterday, and Stoneboy is coming into Jamaica, I think in May, and we're both flying back into Jamaica in May, in the beginning of May, and we're going to finish the video together in Jamaica.
Okay, so we have some videos for us, right? Send back to us.
Actually, we will have a lot of videos to do, because tomorrow we're going to film the other one, and then on Friday we're filming the video for girls.
Okay, but I like the Afro Soca.
Yes, the Afro Soca.
That's a brand.
It is a brand.
And it's very important that this time, I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
Because that will help to define what's going on, because there's a lot of fusion going on.
We're trying to get the copyright body of Trinidad and Tobago, so hopefully after they see that you've also approved that it's a great idea to get them to acknowledge Afro Soca as a genre, which actually helps to market soca, so that anywhere you hear that sound with a local Trinidadian artist or a West Indian artist that is dominant or predominantly doing soca, and an Afro artist, then you can say, okay, fine, this is Afro soca. They did it with reggaeton, so you know reggaeton is Latin because of the pronunciation, the sound, the wording. You know that's that. EDM, you know that's tech. You know the type of music that is. So we need to insert soca into that, because right now, if you're looking at what the other mainstream artists are doing, they're taking the sound of the Caribbean and they're taking it mainstream and putting it to their audiences who are loving it. But if the mainstream audience can't tell the difference between dancehall and soca, then it's just going to be tropical music. Tropical house. It's going to be a sound.
Right.
And then we're going to be people that are producing a sound that has no name, no identity, no origin, but it's strong and powerful enough to be used internationally for people to make hit records. I think as a people, we the musicians of today, need to prep the generations of tomorrow to be able to study our music. And if we don't categorize and itemize, okay, this is this and this is where this comes from, then in 50 years from now, everything's just going to be a big blur, and nobody's going to be able to study your music.
Fay-Ann, so nice to have you for the first time together, the both of you.
Yes, sir.
It's a dream come true for us right here on stage to have you both. All right, so there you have them right here on our stage, the Soca Power Couple. Winford Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for more on stage.
Ready, major. Look how the sun now raising up, and the crowd now waking up. The atmosphere have vibes, and nothing can break it up. The girl them a wine non-stop. We are the drinks them in a my cup. We gonna party all night, all night. Hey, 24 parties we hit in a row. Tonight at the very last show.
Thanks for watching our video. If you're not yet a subscriber, click now and be on stage. Always.